I want to take this early opportunity to thank you, Prime Minister, for your invitation. Indeed, it is a great honor to be received here in New Delhi, a day after our very fruitful engagements at the 8th Vibrant Gujarat Summit. At this summit, I encouraged Indian investors and companies to make Kenya their base and indeed to take advantage of the East African community and the common market for East and Southern Africa, COMESA markets. This is because the relationship between India and Kenya in the political, social, and economic spheres, in particular trade and investment, have grown over time. Our cooperation extends also to the multilateral level, and here we shall collaborate on matters that affect our two countries. For example, we are both committed to reforming and strengthening the United Nations Security Council. We will continue also to work together on other issues that jointly affect us. Ladies and gentlemen, tourism and trafficking in drugs and human beings, as the Prime Minister has mentioned, are two common challenges that we face, and Kenya is committed towards eradication of this menace, and it's unswerving to work with like-minded states like India to put an end to this menace. These are global challenges that we must overcome together. On our bilateral matters, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Prime Minister and the people of India for offering scholarships and training opportunities for my men and women. My government has placed great emphasis on the need to upgrade the skills and competencies of its workforce as we progress towards being a fully fledged middle-income economy. I did further request the Prime Minister for further scholarships in areas such as medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, and ICT, which are relevant to our national development priority areas. I believe that opening up and expanding trade and investment opportunities in our two countries will provide avenues for our youth to be meaningfully engaged and contribute to the noble venture of nation building and poverty eradication. As the Prime Minister has said, our two peoples have traded with each other for generations. Our trade and investment ties are of great mutual benefit. I am keen to increase the volume and values of our exports to India through shifting its export base from agriculture and mineral-based raw products to value-added manufacturing products, and we are seeking partnership with India in technology transfer to increase our capacity to add value to our natural products. I did also indicate to the Prime Minister that there are numerous investment opportunities in Kenya, particularly in agro-industries, and Kenya is establishing special economic zones in Mombasa and along our newly developed standard gauge railway. I invite Indian investors to take advantage of the infrastructure that my government has laid down, including the modern port of Mombasa. To help bridge the balance of trade deficit that exists, I have indeed pitched for India to improve market access for products with high demand in India, such as leather products and pulses. I request India to consider extending the project targeting African cotton-growing countries to Kenya, as this will also help to increase cotton production. We've also encouraged the joint trade committees of both countries to continue meeting and identifying feasible ways in which our bilateral trade can be enhanced. India's strength in the provision of health services is globally acknowledged. Indeed, many of our countrymen and women travel to India every year. Advanced technology, coupled with price competitiveness, makes your country a preferred destination for thousands of Kenyans seeking quality health care. The establishment of a cancer hospital and provision of treatment equipment supported by the Indian government is also greatly anticipated, as it will also go a long way to ensure that quality, affordable treatment is available also for Kenyans who cannot afford to travel to India. Kenya relies heavily on generic antiretroviral drugs manufactured in India. Ensuring that these drugs are available to people infected with HIV/AIDS is also a top priority for my government, and I want to thank India for its leadership in this area and for the generous donation of a consignment of antiretroviral drugs to Kenya. Kenya would also benefit greatly from collaborations and transfer of technology, from investment by Indian pharmaceuticals in Kenya, given the large market and demand for these drugs in our region. I am confident that agreements and memorandum of understanding signed between our two countries will provide a framework of collaboration in diverse areas. Indeed, as the Prime Minister has again mentioned, I do request both sides to immediately work on their implementation, as well as the other agreements we reached in Nairobi. I acknowledge the progress that we have made in many areas so far, and I look forward to collaboration in the new areas that we have today discussed. I note that our two countries granted increased frequencies to each other's airlines in the year 2015, and I encourage the airlines to exploit the infrastructure laid down by the Bilateral Air Services Agreement to increase connectivity and mobility of our people, to improve people-to-people and business-to-business contacts. In conclusion, I say again that I appreciate the useful deliberations that we have held with the Prime Minister and look forward to further engagements in the future. Thank you very much.
तो वज़ीर-ए-आज़म रियाद में एक तोप को देखे, तोप को आगे पीछे राउंड मारे, उसके देखकर फिर एक सऊदी शेख खड़ा हुआ था, उससे पूछे ये कितना दूर फेंकती।